The reason white people get so upset when Black people are celebrated is because they believe we only exist to serve them or entertain them. If we do something within our own community for us that doesn't replicate some form of servitude or involve them at all, they feel left out. In their minds, our only purpose is to exist to serve them in some way. They believe that we should inherently sacrifice our bodies for them and do not see us as human with our own autonomy, our own ideologies, interests, capabilities. This is why Trump brought up the fact that immigrants were taking Black jobs. He and a lot of other white people believe that Black people only exist in America to serve. He doesn't believe that we should be in any leadership positions or any job that serves our own interests or community.
The 47% of white women that voted for Kamala Harris, bring your ass because you fucking docket today. And because I already know how you operate, let's get some church announcements out the way. 1, when faced with uncomfortable truths, a true ally will accept the information rather than react to it. 2, if it don't apply, let it the fuck fly. In other words, don't bring your sensitive asses in my comments telling me how your best friend is Black and giving me a laundry list of things you've done to help the Black community. This is me preemptively telling you I don't give a fuck. 3rd, as far as my content is concerned, the feelings of white people, particularly white women, would never be centered nor considered. So if you're white and you follow me and what I'm about to say offends you, there's no need to announce your disappointment nor your departure. You can simply get out. Now let's get down to business. 47% are particularly the ones that go above and beyond to tell Black people, but Black women in particular, that you're a part of the 47%. It's not that you do it because of your love, support, and solidarity of Black women. It's about your image. Because you need to be on record as being part of the 47%, so you're not perceived to be a part of the 53% because it's MAGA. Because for whatever reason, you seem to think that you're better white women than they are. And newsflash, you aren't. Now, while you may not subscribe to and or believe in their racist beliefs and ideologies, as white women on a daily basis, you still benefit and profit from said racist beliefs and ideologies, nothing less. Another thing is that it's not lost on me, and it's definitely not lost on white women. No generation of white people, especially white women, have ended white supremacy. Now, the only thing to do to end white supremacy in this country is to dismantle it and relinquish your white privilege. 2 things that are a bridge too far for you, especially the last, which is why you'll change the name of a school, you'll change the name of a sports team, you'll take down statues, you'll volunteer in the very neighborhoods that you're gentrifying and pushing my people out of just to assuage your white guilt. You will do everything but give up that white privilege. White people are inherently mediocre. You just have to work not to be. And that's a topic for another time, but trust and believe I will be fuck that. And it is because of your white mediocrity, which is why you require so much of Black women that you'll never require of yourself, because you bitches can't deliver. White women are the only people on the face of this fuck earth that will betray you and then demand that you make them feel better about doing it. You don't have to tell me I'm wrong because I already know I'm right, because you do it all the time. And it's because of your white mediocrity that you don't mind being supported by Black women. You want to be supported and defended by Black women, but you don't want to be led by Black women. Because in order for you to be led by Black women, you have to, 1, acknowledge your shortcomings, and 2, forego being the center of attention. And considering the fact that you are born with main character syndrome, that's a hoes can't fuck it. But what really bothers me is you white bitches that are all about, where's Kamala? I mean, we need her. She should be working. So you want a Black woman to do a job that you didn't elect her for. Because see, what you want is you want your individual vote counted, but you don't want the collective one to be counted. And it's the collective vote that making decisions. And as a collective, you once again voted for your whiteness. Because one thing about you white women, you talk the talk, but when it's time to walk the walk, you walk your ass right on over there to whites only. And this election is no different. And you don't want your ashy and crusty ass heels to be held to the fire about that shit. You want to act like it didn't exist. And what pisses me off is that when Hillary Clinton lost, you put on a pink hat, you did your little march, you went to Starbucks and you called the day. You let that white lady lose in peace. You let her go take a break, go out on the lecture circuit, make money, and go mind her business. But the black woman, you want her to do the job and fire her to do. You should have thought about that shit when you was voting for the trickle-down patriarchy. Because she's going to learn that the patriarchy was designed by white men for the sole benefit of white men. They view you as still being their property, just like you still view black women as being fuckers, and we're not. Kamala Harris don't owe you shit. Black women don't owe you shit. But you us everything. And when I say everything, I'm talking everything. Because not only have we protected you, but we've raised you. And in some cases, you were sucking on our ancestors' tit because your mothers couldn't be bothered enough to do it themselves. They went from wanting to porch drinking iced tea to just being drunk and popping pills because they hate their lives. Black women raised you. Black women saved you. But that shit is done. You running an open tab since 1619 and you long bad bitch to settle the... Kamala Harris owes you nothing. You should have thought about what you needed when you was in the voting booth. You made your choice as a collective, and it was to uphold white supremacy and keep your privilege. Own up to it. And just as a reminder, this is my platform. I say what the and I mean what I say. Case closed and court adjourned. You should remember that before you step your ass in the fucking comment section. Have the day you deserve.
White women, I know you hate to see my black ass coming, but the bitch is back. And you already know what time it is. All rise, court is now in session. Quick PSA before we get started. A hit dog will always holler. Call your local veterinarian. Now let's get to open arguments. Everything that's going on in this country right now, especially with regard to this current administration, is the direct result of white women's laziness, cowardice, and incompetence. Or as the French would call you, les incompetents. Bonus points if you get that reference. As white women, you have a direct connect to white men, which means that you have been and you still are in the very rooms where conversations are had, plans are hatched, and decisions are made, and yet you do nothing. As far as the trickle-down patriarchy is concerned, your only perk is your white privilege, and you are so desperate to hang on to it that you stay silent. And instead, you choose to ride the coattails of the very white men that's taking away your rights and are actively working to take away your freedom. And yet and still, you manage to possess in caucasity, to walk around like you Mary Magdalene. Meanwhile, you just gave white men the keys to the very kingdom that they've been building this whole time in front of your face. White women are not rooted in reality nor realness. You're rooted in perception, which aptly explains why you're so selfish, self-centered, and self-serving. And it is because you are rooted in perception that you don't like confrontation and you don't like being called out. Because upon doing so, the fallacy that you've created for yourself is immediately destroyed. And so your immediate knee-jerk reaction is to pull out the white women tears or the unity card, or sometimes it's a combination of both. You seem to be under this impression that this is the time for black women and white women to stand together as one and unite. So my question to you is, as it pertains to said unity, which black women would you like to unite with? Is it the black women such as myself that you're so quick to call loud, aggressive, and ghetto whenever we assert ourselves with you? Or we say or do something that you don't like or understand, even though it wasn't meant for you in the first place? Is it the black women that you call welfare queens, knowing full well that the largest recipients of government assistance are white? Is it the black women that you report to HR because we don't say good morning to you? Or smile on command to appease you? Or tell you what we do on our weekends off because that's our personal business and you're not entitled to that information? Is it the black women that work in retail and customer service that you not only berate, but falsely report to management and corporate because you don't get the refund, discount, or level of service you demanded, oftentimes resulting in us losing our livelihoods? Is it the black women, the overqualified black women in corporate America that you consistently lie on, sabotage, and steal promotions from? Because you know your mediocrity would not get you the position otherwise? Is it the same black women that you treat condescendingly the moment you don't get the immediate praise and gratitude you seem to think you're entitled to? Is it the black women whose style and aesthetic you carbon copy only to repackage and rebrand it as something you invented? Is it the black women whose content and creativity you steal verse from and profit millions of dollars off of it? All the while refusing to both credit and compensate the very black women you stole from. Are those the black women that you would like to unite and stand as one with you? As far as divisiveness is concerned, you hypocritical assholes are the common denominator, and you always have been. White women are the creators of exclusivity, and by extension, division. For centuries, up until present day, white women continue to orchestrate the plot and then immediately pretend to not understand the plight. You are not the victims you're desperate to be. You're the perpetrators. This case is not closed, but court is adjourned. Have the day you deserve.
The reason white people get so upset when black people are celebrated is because they believe we only exist to serve them or entertain them. If we do something within our own community for us that doesn't replicate some form of servitude or involve them at all, they feel left out. In their minds, our only purpose is to exist to serve them in some way. They believe that we should inherently sacrifice our bodies for them and do not see us as human with our own autonomy, our own ideologies, interests, capabilities. This is why Trump brought up the fact that immigrants were taking black jobs. He and a lot of other white people believe that black people only exist in America to serve. He doesn't believe that we should be in any leadership positions or any job that serves our own interests or community. The only reason so many people were upset about the halftime show is because it had a much deeper meaning, and that meaning they could not understand. They realized that the entertainment that they think belongs to them was not for them. They think that all entertainment should be accessible to them and about them. They can't fathom how we can do anything other than be a black body for their enjoyment. This is why they always tell athletes who use their platforms to speak about injustice that they need to just stick to football. We don't want to hear your opinion because they don't value us. They don't see us as human. That is their way of attempting to put us in our place. Do what we want you to do. Entertain us. Use your body to play the sport that you're good at and win me some damn money. Don't even get me started on the way the NFL draft mimics the slave trade. White people know how talented and capable we are. They know how close-knit of a community we have. They know that we don't need them to thrive, but they need us to thrive. If we didn't exist, they wouldn't have anywhere to steal their ideas from. And they wouldn't be able to keep up with the constant demands of life. They expect everyone else to do it for them. A lot of white people only want us if they can profit off of us in some way. Anything that the black community initiates for ourselves offends them because this idea of white ownership is not at the core of what we do. They hate that even though we have to work 10 times as hard as them to get in some of the same positions of power and influence, we always do the job better than them every single time.
Welcome back. This black woman hits the nail right on the head. And I believe this is a nice way of addressing the situation that is happening in the United States of America. So she spoke extensively to white women in the United States of America, particularly the 47% of white women who voted for Kamala Harris. And Donald Trump was elected the president of the United States of America. Black women have decided to take a rest for the next 4 years, that they were not going to engage in any form of activism. They were simply just going to take a rest. But it looks like some white women are not happy with black women resting, and they keep pulling their legs in order to get them involved in some issues that is happening in the United States of America. For instance, during the Women's March, which happened last month on the 18th of January, some white women were calling on black women to join in the march to protest for women's rights and all that. But the 92% of black women who voted for Kamala Harris are saying that they are resting. Now, quite recently, looking at the issues that are happening in the United States of America as regards mass deportation, healthcare prices going up, cost of food and then groceries also going up, cancellation of some benefits that people get have been cancelled under the Donald Trump administration. A lot of people are calling and asking for the whereabouts of Kamala Harris. But you should know that Kamala Harris is not the president of the United States of America currently. She's not the vice president of the United States. Neither is she even a government official of the United States of America. So I don't know why a lot of people keep asking about the whereabouts of Kamala Harris. Now, Hillary Clinton also stood for presidency and lost. Whilst after she had lost, no one questioned her whereabouts. But why are people asking in the case of Kamala Harris where her whereabouts is? She's also minding her business, trying to put herself together, build herself up, her capacities and all that in order to come back stronger. So I believe this woman really addressed this situation really, really well. Let me know what you think about all these in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family on other social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down here. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you again in my next video.